You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play Dungeons & Dragons on the internet for your amusement. This is episode number 241, posted May 2020. Rictavio!
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. I am your Dungeon Master, Tony Sindelar. We are rejoining the Dog and Pony Show in actions. Today's episode brought to you by the internet, connecting us all together in a podcast, and frankly, dangerous combination of caffeine as provided by Coca-Cola, Coke Zero, and cold medicine that are in my head today. It's going to be one of those episodes, everybody. Tuesday night!
Tuesday night!
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize in advance, but let me now apologize to my players one by one in an order as determined by random.org. This is random, but this seems appropriate. Dan Morin, I'm sorry.
Tony Sindelar, it's nice to be here.
Dan, who are you playing?
I am playing Crucible, Castano's Crucible, a Warforged cleric.
Jane Ritt. The thing that I did and the thing I'm going to continue to do in this episode, I'm sorry for all of it.
I am Jane Ritt. I am playing Lena Lena, the human rogue, and I accept your apology.
Micah Sargent, it's important that you understand that you did nothing to deserve this.
There are no apologies in Barovia.
Add it to the list, people. I don't know. No one has yelled canon yet, but
no, there should be apologies. So we'll just leave that one.
And Micah, who are you playing?
Oh God, right. That's a thing I'm going to do and say right now in this next moment. I am Elevor, the half-elf druid, and yeah, that's me.
Erica Ensign, I think you know what it's like to have a week. I'm sorry that you're part of my week now.
Tony, I'm sorry that you're part of my week now. And I am going to play Brildish, the dwarven paladin with a pony.
And last but not least, no doubt the person who is going to remind me when I am particularly off the rails, and we appreciate it when she does so, Aline Sims. Aline, I'm sorry.
Apology acknowledged. Hi, I'm Imra Soliana, and I'm here with my friend / dog companion Androdite. Oh, I'm a ranger, by the way.
And how? All right.
Multi-class friend / dog.
Yeah. Tuesday night, people. We got to lean into this energy because I'm leaning into it. I don't want to be the only one alone here.
Is your dog a brain surgeon?
No, only very special dogs can bring
out of network. Previously on Total Party Kill, Dog and Pony Show, you are trapped in the land of Barovia, Big Barovia. You left the town of Barovia, Little Barovia, for the town of Valaki. Just Valaki, in search of perhaps places that would be safer, further from the reach of the devil. Some strange things happened on the road between Barovia, Little Barovia, and Valaki in the form of a skeletal rider. That was weird. That being a skeleton on a skeleton horse. Man, I really thought that would be more efficient to just say skeletal rider, but it really poses a lot of questions. There was a skeleton. The skeleton was on a skeleton horse. Tuesday night, people.
Tuesday night.
You also, along the way, encountered a group of Vistani who were searching for a lost child, and being the heroic, lovely people that you are, you sought to help them and engaged not in going directly to Valaki, but exploring around the town of Valaki. You met the leader of the Vistani encampment nearby, and you basically circumnavigated the whole town, eventually arriving at the shores of Lake Zarovich, where you found a strange man who seemed intent on throwing a small Vistani girl into a lake in a sack. And you saved her.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! So you returned the girl, I believe her name was Arabelle, to the Vistani. I believe they now owe you one favor, to be redeemed at another time. And you are on your way back to Valaki with one weird man in tow.
Wait,
the song is one weird man.
Has a toe.
In tow.
A weird
In tow.
one-toed man.
You have no current number of toes unknown, but probably going to
number
be
of
one
man?
now. So you are escorting one weird man back to the town of Valaki because the sun is setting soon. Not that there's ever actually a sunset in Valaki or in Barovia because it's so gloomy, big Barovia. But, you know, the sky is getting dark. And I don't know if you know too much about Barovia, big Barovia, also little Barovia, but you don't want to hang out after dark.
Can I roll perception for toes?
Yes.
Oh, right. What's my bonus there on perception? How does this game work again? I got a 16. How many toes does Weird Man have? Oh my God, he's rolling too.
According to my math, I rolled 2d6. Elevor,
Up to 12. He has up to 12 toes.
Elevor, you have 8 toes.
Wait, I have 8 toes? I was looking. I want to know how many
man.
toes the Weird
That
Man
is the
has.
ending
you
of a
did-
terrible ghost story that you tell me the campfire.
You did not specify which weird man you were asking about, Micah, and I believe I made the obvious choice here.
I have
Roll
been
to have
burned.
toes.
Barovia is spooky. It might eat your toes.
Okay, I'm writing it down. Elevor has 8 toes.
I don't know. I mean, that could be like an animal
it makes
thing,
perfect
right?
sense. He was an octopus, and
Oh,
then when he
that's
Yeah, there's
transformed
probably
back,
just something.
So
got
maybe
lost in
That's
translation.
what happened. I didn't fully transform back.
All right.
Add appearance information.
Canon.
8 toes. All right.
Guys,
that
please
is-
do not use canon for other people's appearances, other than Jane has 2 eye scars. So, canon.
Yes. I have 2 character creator eye scars.
Yes.
well,
I want to put my
Dramatic.
cloak up immediately because I don't want to go in the village and have it apparent that I'm an elf. If I can
Oh, I
avoid
thought
it.
you just didn't want to lose any toes. So you
Yes, it is.
Yeah, putting
it
my cloak up
probably-
would definitely help.
It probably does occur to you
Yeah.
that you are rather conspicuous. You would be rather conspicuous
Us?
in the town of Valaki.
Or just me.
I guess anyone who is not a human or who is traveling with someone who
or
is
is
not a
a
human.
6-foot tall man made out of metal.
Also, who is you all. let's
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah. Lots of cloaks going on is what we're saying.
So as
Crucible
you're
is not
approach-
putting a cloak. He doesn't use. Why? I don't understand.
Yeah, Lena's kind of skulking towards the back a little bit, like she's going to
I feel
try
like-
and hide behind the dwarf.
Each of you is like aggressively trying to hide further and further back behind.
Except for Crucible,
Crucible
probably.
puts on
Yeah.
like a hat, but it's like just like a broad brimmed hat. It doesn't do anything to cover his face.
Well, my ears are definitely covered because I've got half elf ears. So
I guess so. Here's my question: as you are heading up toward the gates on the north side of Valaki, how actively are you disguised in terms of attempting to conceal your appearance, be it your entire identity or your in the case of some of you, your non-human nature?
I think that's the extent of mine.
Okay.
I want to look
Same.
as human as possible.
Yeah.
Quick, act human. I mean, natural. I mean,
Where do my hands go?
really
Where
tap
do
into
humans-
that. You're a half elf. Really tap into your human side, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember where my mom put her hands.
they're next to your last 2 toes.
Aw.
Sorry.
Too soon.
Too soon.
All right, and so it's getting dark, and the strange man that you pulled out of a rowboat,
Yep.
big kind of lumbering guy, is just kind of following you along. He has just this glassy look on his eyes. Irina, not really sure what's going on. She's going to stay in kind of the middle of the pack, and she kind of comments that I do not know about this Valaki place. This is not what I imagined.
I think Elevor leans over to Imra and says, "Okay, so here's the deal. I don't think I can go on much further unless I know how many toes the weird man has. So, being that you're a ranger and you're very good at knowing at observing these things, can you please tell me how many toes he has?"
Isn't he wearing shoes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I
you
don't
got
know.
those
Can I tell by the way
tracking
he's
skills.
walking?
I would say Imra.
This is the looking for Scott portion of this
You know,
season.
yeah, I don't always placate Micah, but sometimes you gotta do what Elevor wants you to do.
Oh, yay.
Can I tell by the way this glassy-eyed man, not original member of our party, in case there's another glassy-eyed man here, how many toes he has by his gait?
By his gait, it suggests that he has you would suggest you assume we're making a lot of assumptions here about feet, but it seems like he's got kind of the gait of a 10-toed individual.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure all of his toes.
Toed, not.
He's got 10 toads?
How many toes are in his boots?
I'm recovering from my
Glass
cold.
eyes, 10 toes?
Dungeons and Dragons, people. Dungeons and Dragons. And so you approach the north gates to Valaki. A male and female guards stand at the gate. The gate is basically... it looks like they're kind of getting ready for night. The gate is closed, but not like there's a big heavy chain and padlock that they have not secured in place yet. They are standing on the other side of the barred gate. You can see them. There are arranged outside the gate a bunch of pikes, pointy wooden poles with, there's really no nicer way to say it, rotting wolf's heads on them.
Oh my.
Oh, yeah, I think we saw these last time.
We saw
that's
it, yeah.
right. Yeah,
I believe
yeah.
there was a similar site on the east gate where you approached. So good news. Both gates feature decomposing lupine heads.
Yummo.
I guess for certain definitions of
That's a
good news,
Valaki promise.
Lena, do you think we can get in at this point?
Probably. All right, let me do the talking.
You are
okay.
charismatic. I think you can do it.
Hello. We would like to be let in.
State your business in Valaki.
Well, he lives here and we need to take him home. As you can see, he's not feeling well.
What are you doing with Bluto?
We found him wandering the shores of the lake and, I snap.
Yeah, don't worry. He has all his toes, but there's something about his glass eyes that's really freaking us out.
He seems unwell. We'd like to help him home.
The Baron's not going to like this. We'll take care of him. They offered to take him off your hands.
Well, as you can see, escorting him safely back, it's brought us nearly to nightfall. I was,
Yeah, move along.
Oh, okay.
That
what?
is not terribly hospitable.
Is he waving us in?
He's waving you in.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
that
move
is
along.
terribly
Move along.
hospitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly hospitable no matter what, but you
Yeah.
know.
Wait,
It's
this is a
not
hospital?
friendly, but they're
Yeah.
not like
The
go
other one's
die
like,
in the
no
woods.
one asked for your life story. So,
Okay, well.
they're clearly busy trying to get the gate set up for night.
Yeah.
There's no other foot traffic at this point. One of the guards walks the glassy-eyed man, who is apparently named Bluto, off somewhere. You did choose not to mention that he abducted a child, but we won't dwell on that for now. And so you are inside the gates and walls of the town of Valaki, the jewel of Barovia, Big Barovia, in that it's a place where people live. There are several pikes with wolf's heads inside the gates as well.
Perhaps we should seek a place to accommodations for the evening.
Well, anyone who has been to Valaki before, which I believe includes both Lena and Crucible,
Yep.
would know that really the only establishment in town is the Bluewater Inn. That's the closest thing there is. I mean, it's a legit tavern. I don't know why I say it in that way.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of competition, is what I'm saying.
Right.
There are Valaki is a substantially larger town than Little Barovia, so there are a lot more people and a lot more businesses and what have you. But still, really only one tavern. But it's an actual full inn as opposed to the Blood of the Vine Tavern, which was like the saddest place you've ever consumed wine. So, and let's see, on this map, N2, which is kind of in the center of town.
And
Not
to
exciting for our
Tone.
podcast listener. The tavern is
God.
in the center of the town. How's that?
Excellent.
Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you for letting us help you create the map.
You're welcome. Is that where you want to head?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
that
All
makes
right.
sense.
Valaki does not seem to be a particularly inviting place, but perhaps you have just arrived the wrong time as people are kind of getting ready for the evening. You see a lot of people, a lot of shutters closing, a lot of lights going out, a lot of doors being bolted and secured. The streets are empty, but you really only have to wander down the one road that runs kind of north to south in Valaki before you arrive near an intersection where there is the Bluewater Inn. It's notable in terms of it's clearly not a house or a business. There's it's a multi-story structure. There's nice kind of pleasing gray smoke coming up from a chimney. Wooden building, stone foundation. It's got kind of a little bit of a sagging roof. And on that roof are perched several ravens.
Oh boy, here we go. Says
We
Eleanor.
trust
A
them.
painted
remember?
wooden sign hangs above the main entrance, and it depicts kind of a blue waterfall.
As we approach, do the ravens like come down at us cawing like they did at the windmill?
Nope, they're just ravens, man.
They're
Why would they
hanging
do
out.
that?
Who knows
Just-
why a bird does birds?
Yeah, who knows why a bird does anything a bird does?
I don't know.
Are there other ravens around town on the rooftops, or just
give me
the inn?
give me a perception check, Imra.
This is an 11, 10. No.
You do not see any other birds except
Okay.
for the kind of, it looks like, decent sized flock on the roof of the Bluewater Inn.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else you want to do in town, or you just want to head right in?
I mean, it may be a good place for us to ask some questions about Bluto.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you head into the Bluewater Inn. It looks like kind of people are kind of settling in for the evening. I am loading a map with a tavern in a second.
Oh, we're on the roof.
If you scroll down, you can go to the first floor.
No, I'll stay up here. That's fine.
Let me tell you a little bit about what is going on in the Bluewater Inn. So, it's a kind of nice tavern structure. There's basically kind of a barn built onto the back of it, and clearly people have their horses and whatnot there. And as you make your way in, it's clear that, for some people in Valaki, this is the place to go. For indeed, there are not many places to go in Valaki. There is, kind of a large, bearded, heavyset man behind the bar who looks like he's probably the innkeeper. And there's a variety of people who seem to be hanging out in the tavern, either people who are staying there or people who are inhabitants of Valaki who are spending the evening there. Just kind of casually looking around the tavern, you spot kind of, I'll say, 3 groups of people that catch your eye. There's 2, they look like they're probably locals. They're not kind of garbed in traveling clothes. In fact, they're kind of garbed in kind of nice robes. It looks like they might be some kind of, lesser nobility, probably related. They seem to be arm wrestling and yelling at each other quite loudly in the corner. In another corner, there's 2, they look more like there's probably woodsman types, a pair of them, and they're just kind of sitting quietly drinking. And in the standing at the bar is a half-elf, kind of strange-looking gentleman with little spectacles on his nose, elderly, and he seems to be trying to tell a story to the innkeeper, who is not that interested.
We can tell he's a half elf.
Yeah.
So Lena is going to head up to the bar for a sec. Hello, we would like to get 5 beds for the night if you have the room.
You're in luck. We only have one guest staying with us right now. Let me just look at what we've got available here and see what kind of arrangements we
Crucible
can find you.
sidles up next to Lena and says, "We only need 4 beds. I do not require sleep."
Wait, are you just going to stand there in the corner
Well-
while we sleep?
We need one
I
for
will keep-
Arena, too.
Yeah, remember Arena's here too. So,
Math is not one of my strong suits.
what kind of robot are you?
I am not a rowboat.
Thank you.
And
All right.
can we get my loyalty number so that I get the points?
You don't want the points here, trust me. The perks are
this
not
place,
great.
this place is well reviewed online. You know what they use for reviewing things in Barovia?
A string?
Nope, it's just called,
Ravens.
it's just Yelp.
It's Yelp. Yeah.
But the enunciation's a little different. So yeah,
It's spelled Yelp.
yeah. I told that joke instead of looking up the thing I was supposed to find.
Incidentally, is anyone
That's-
else
honestly,
really
it's worth
impressed
it.
by the giant freaking horse in the stables?
Yes,
Yes.
I was
that
thinking
is
that
a
too.
good and beefy boy.
Look at yes, that is a horse I,
I mean,
would like to
okay,
know.
okay. I'm gonna bring Tony Sindelarent in there for scale. I mean,
yeah.
Well, one's a top-down view and one's a side-on
Yeah,
view. So,
you can't compare
apples
them.
and oranges.
Yeah.
so I know that for the listeners, you can't quite see the difference in scale. But I'm gonna say that this horse's head is maybe 15 feet across.
That seems fair.
Seems fair.
And you
All
can
right.
trust Jane when it comes to information about horses.
Yes. So the innkeeper, he introduces himself, Erwin Mardikoff. Yes. So I have 3 rooms available. I've got 2 bedrooms and 1 4-bedroom. What can I interest you in? This is the part of the adventure where they do math. Everybody loves this part. They have to figure out who's going to sleep on the floor, who's going to share a room with who. It's
okay,
like Oregon Trail, but not fun because you don't get to play. It's just
Wait,
watching
now
people
hold on.
play
If it's
Oregon
like-
Trail.
If it's like Oregon Trail, am I going to get dysentery if I stay in one of these rooms?
He,
No, do
he
not
te-
roll the die. Please don't roll.
I'm happy to sleep on the floor. It's
also,
fine.
you also have plenty of money. You can just,
Yeah, I think there may be times that a nice lodging is not available. I say we avail ourselves while we can.
Agreed.
Seems reasonable.
So how many rooms do you want to rent?
7.
There's
What?
3 available.
Sorry.
Yes,
I
we'd
did
like
the
to put
math
Pony.
wrong.
We'd like to put Pony Cindelar up in the horse suite. So
There are like 9 extra decimals in fantasy math and in real math, so I just got a little confused there.
Yes, I shall play with 2 silvers and 14 coppers and a platinum.
I'm sorry, can you tell me what rooms we have again?
there are 2 bedrooms available and 1 4-bedroom available.
Okay, let's do the 4-bedroom because I can meditate in a corner.
Yeah,
Excellent.
as can I.
Cool.
We've got 2
Pack 'em in,
corners and
folks.
4 beds.
So sleeping in the beds will be Irina, not Imra, not Crucible. Broldish, you get a bed. Elevor gets a bed. And who am I forgetting?
Irina.
Lena.
Arena. Okay.
Lena and Arena.
Lena and Arena. Okay.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Arena,
All right.
the cool-
So,
And then we have 1 elf in the corner being spooky and 1
Mhm.
robot in
As
the
I do.
corner being spooky.
Yep.
as you do.
Yep.
Okay. Erwin Mardikoff, has you signed the guest book, Lena?
I sort of don't pick up the quill hoping that someone else will do it.
I'll
Yeah.
do it.
Sure.
I'll just
okay.
scrawl. That's fine.
All right.
Scrawl.
Just
Yelp
scrawl.
and scrawl.
That's my celebrity signature.
Can I get you travelers any food?
Yes, please.
Oh man, hungry bungry is what I say.
We are having a special on wolf steak tonight.
Sure. Sounds good.
All right.
I could see how you would end up with a surplus, what with you only using the heads otherwise.
He gives you a knowing wink. All right.
Ew, don't
So that
wink.
was what, like 5 wolf steaks coming up?
I do not require a wolf steak. Thank you.
Do you have anything that is not in the canine family?
We have some horse stew.
I guess I'll take the wolf steak.
Okay.
How do you
Could
like
I
that
also
cooked?
get a side of?
Wait,
Could I also get a side of horse stew, please?
Okay.
I have a question about horse stew, sir.
Is
Yes.
this the dog and pony stew?
Oh
Eleanor.
No, this is unintentional, people.
Oh.
And Elevor pulls back his hood since he's got a half elf friend at the bar.
Oh. The gentleman standing nearby at the bar kind of suddenly notices you.
Wait, the gentleman standing nearby or the guy behind the bar?
The gentleman standing nearby at the bar is a half elf. The man behind the bar is a human.
Oh, shoot. I misunderstood.
Sorry,
Well,
you can
too
feel
late.
free to change your actions if you want.
No, I took my finger off the chess piece. We're fine.
Okay.
So yeah, that happened. I don't care about that though. I'm asking about horse. Are you able to keep a horse alive while still taking meat from it? Are you harvesting horse from a big meat boy?
No, sir. I can assure you, the horse was humanely slaughtered.
Don't worry about him.
I just am very curious about these animals.
He's very curious about animals.
Well, if you'd like to take a seat over here, the food will be right out.
Yes,
Cool.
thank you. We do appreciate it.
I'm going to keep an eye on Elivor when the food comes and see if he can turn it into fajitas or something.
Yeah, because
A quesadilla.
I'm definitely not eating, I don't know, horsey stew.
You're just going to let that horsey stew go to waste?
No, I didn't order any horsey stew.
Okay. Some time passes, and two small children, they look like they bear a resemblance to the innkeeper, come out with plates of wolf steak and bowls of stew in whatever numbers were supposed to be there, and arrange them at this table where there's one table off to the corner. This bar is full of corners where there's enough seats for all of you to kind of gather around and have a meal together.
Children, do you know a child who lives outside the city named Arabella?
I don't know anybody who lives outside of Valaki, says the child.
Very well, thank you.
Nods and wanders off. Gives you kind of a weird look.
Should we perhaps inquire of the innkeeper whether or not he is familiar with this Bluto?
Yeah, and I don't like... Well, I don't like a lot about the way that he vanished from our care.
Let us make lists of all the things we don't like here in Valaki.
Wolf steak.
Yeah.
That's one.
Horsey stew.
Irina is poking a wolf steak tentatively. I've never had this before.
I'm tucking in.
Okay.
Broldish is she's wolfing down in her steak.
Oh,
Clever.
You know, from across the room, the two hunters, they see what you're doing, Broldish, and they give you a kind of a hearty nod, thumbs up.
I salute them with, I never ordered any wine. Did it just come with wine to drink or something?
Another child makes a round and is pouring cups of wine for people.
I'll salute the hunters with my wine.
It is very cheap red wine.
Yep.
Tastes like grapes.
Favorite kind.
So there's a variety of people you could choose to talk to here at the Bluewater Inn, but you do appear to be, you're out of the elements. You are no longer on the open road of Barovia where all kinds of bad things could happen to you. Presumably, a different set of bad things could happen to you here in Valaki.
Tony, a question. Bluto, could we tell from his manner of dress, did he seem well-to-do, or did he seem more like a hunter? Could we divine anything from like the way he was dressed, like as to his class or occupation?
I would think he seemed like a commoner. So,
of the people in here who might know him, I was just trying to figure out if it would be more likely. You said the two who are arm wrestling, are they the more like ornately
Yes.
They're
dressed?
nobles.
Yeah.
There are two. They look like they're probably locals in that they are not dressed in traveling garb, but they do look kind of fancy. They are arm wrestling and yelling at each other a bunch. There's two. It's all dudes. Sorry, that's how this adventure was written for this room. You have your choice of big bearded guy behind the corner. Two look like relatives in fancy pants clothes, arm wrestling with each other. Two sullen hunters off in the corner, and the kind of half-elf gentleman who is just sitting at the bar, drinking kind of by himself quietly, just giving the room a look over his shoulder every now and then.
Crucible would like to step back up to the bar and inquire.
And I'm going to suggest, this is Dungeon Master aside.
Mm-hmm.
This is a place of relative safety. If you wanted to split up and chat with different people, that might be a courtesy to your fellow players and slightly more socially believable than 6 of you come up and interrogate people one by one, and would allow us to, to share the stage a little bit. And I'm probably not going to murder you for splitting the party in one room that is a tavern.
This is just what he wants us to think.
Right.
That said, no one asked, is the floor made of lava? And the floor is made of lava. You all take 2d8 fire damage on your feet.
Yeah.
Next
Lena
time
sees
next time you'll ask.
Yeah, Lena sees that Crucible's going up to the bar, so she like drains her wine so she has a pretext to go back up, and she follows him up there.
Hello.
All right.
Hello, good innkeeper.
Travelers.
I had a question for you, since I presume you are a longtime resident of Valaki?
Indeed. Born and raised. Raised my family here too.
We encountered an individual who I believe was from this town. Do you know a man named Bluto?
Yes, I know him. I'm acquainted. He's a regular here. Spends probably too much time here, if you know what I mean.
He seemed, when we encountered him, to be somewhat not himself, or acting in a way that seemed unusual. Have you observed this?
Well, he likes to drink, but recently there's been some of the people in town. They've been I don't know where they're getting them from, but they got these pastries, dream pastries they call them. The people that like them, they like them a real lot.
Oh boy.
Let me guess, were these purchased from an older woman from a cart with greasy papers?
Paper was certainly greasy. Couldn't tell you about an old woman with a cart. Don't know where they come from. But some of the people, they won't shut up about them. Seem real obsessed with them.
Have you noticed the...
Me, I prefer a good wolf steak, which are on sale today, and a good glass of red.
Always
is what I prefer.
Dang it, you beat me to it.
Have you noticed the behavior of these people who consume these dream pastries to be particularly unusual, or perhaps even violent?
Usually not violent. I'd say usually they're kind of sedate, if anything. They sometimes act like they're not all there, if you know what I'm saying.
That is what we observed with this Bluto, but he also seemed to choose some relatively unsavory actions as well.
Well, Bluto's not exactly ever been one I'd call savory, but I don't know. He's always been a bit open to suggestions, perhaps too open. So I don't know. Maybe he got some bad ideas in his that head of his.
Do you know perhaps where he lives in town?
Oh yeah, he lives 3 streets over. There's a old fishing hut that has been in his family. He's there.
And does he have any other family?
I don't think so.
Interesting. Thank you. You have been most helpful. Crucible.
Oh sure. Well, we want you to have a good time here at the Bluewater Inn. It's a place of safety.
Crucible slides a like silver over on the counter.
Oh, don't mention it. He takes the silver. Yeah. You all have a good time here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any extras on the wolf steak I can interest you in?
Very full.
Okay.
Really, thank you.
Well, I'll be here.
I believe my friend would like another.
Me or my wife will be here behind the bar. You need anything, you let us know.
Yes, certainly.
All right, so that's happening at the bar with Crucible and Lena DeLena are chatting up Erwin Mardikov, proprietor of the Bluewater Inn. What are other folks doing?
Okay, Elivor wants to go sidle up to the... Oh my gosh, every time I click on the map, it jumps my token all over the place. But he's going to go sit at the bar next to old elf pal over here.
All right. So sitting at the bar, drinking wine. He seems to have a very dainty wine cup. It's not clear. Everyone else seems kind of like stock, and he's got like a fancy
He brought his own.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he. You know what? Everything about this particular individual suggests. I think the kids would call it extra. That he is interesting. There is, apologies, let me just find the description of This individual, I'm having a
I can
hard
already
time.
tell this individual wishes he was a full-on elf.
That's maybe offensive. I don't know.
Well, as a half elf who often has to hold on, let me spit this out. As a half elf who is often sort of trying to find his place in either elven society or human society when I'm not elf enough and I'm not human enough. I have found, or Elevor has found, this is getting too real now. Elevor has found that he has been able to sidle up to the human side a little bit more. But there are some half elves who tend to want to sort of cast aside their humanity and sort of punish themselves for being partially human with the intent of reclaiming as much elfiness as they possibly can. And that is just the vibe that Elevor is getting at the moment, and we will find out if that's actually the case.
I like to think that Elevor smashes paradigms by like, oh, I'm not elf enough, I'm not human enough. Giant octopus!
Watch me!
And that's how you end up with 8 toes.
Yeah, that's
This is true.
This is the Mardukov family, so that's Erwin Mardukov on the left there. Do you all see that?
Wow, that kid is the haughtiest looking kid.
He does look great. Also, he's got his other kid who has like an undercut. I'm like, I don't. Yeah. Anyway, so that they were the ones who were bringing you food, and
Why are they all looking so suspicious at people?
Elevor,
Rictavio.
excuse me, Elevor, you have sidled up next to a half elf who is dressed. I think the only word that comes to mind is like a dandy. He is very dramatically dressed in colors you just don't see in Barovia. And he reaches out and just grasps your arm and it's just giving you a hearty handshake. And he says, "It is my esteemed pleasure to meet you. I am Rictavio. Please pull up a seat."
Okay. Hi there, Rictavio.
Rictavio looks back at you over kind of little spectacles he's got perched on his nose. He quickly kind of finishes writing something in his journal because he's the kind of guy who brings a journal to a bar and sits at the bar writing in his journal. And he says, "Ah, a fellow half-elf. I thought I saw you when you came in. It is see so few of our kind here in Barovia. It is good to see a friendly face."
Well, I have to say it is good to see a friendly face as well.
It
right
is
back at
good.
you.
It is so good.
I want to roll. I don't know. Is this perception? Is this insight? I want to tell if this guy is drunk or if he's just this happy.
Roll insight.
All right. That's 18.
A little from column A, a little from column B, but I think he's pretty happy just to see you, perhaps just to see a half elf. But he looks like I'm always looking to meet strangers on the road and to share tales. I'm a storyteller, or so I fancy myself. I'm retired, but I'm still adventuring, and you look like you may have seen a thing or two, and I'd love to hear about it. Perhaps I could share some regale you with some tales of my own travels, for I'm Rictavio.
Well, in fact, Rictavio, that's what I was going to ask you about. What are some of the latest tales you've been told? Do you come here every day?
Oh, well, I've been here in Valaki for a little while, getting the lay of the land, but I travel all over. I was previously a circus performer, ringmaster, really. But I've retired. I've left that life behind me, and I wanted to see the world, see it out before me. And I went on a traveling road trip, as it were. And well, I seem to have found myself stuck here in the Valley Barovia, Big Barovia, and haven't figured out quite how to get out of here, so I've been here for a while, but I'm sure it's just a bump in the road, as they say, on my way to bigger and more exciting things. Not that here is not big and exciting. Surely, exciting things here in Barovia, in Valaki, in Big Barovia. But yes, what about you? Are you a new arrival here in Barovia?
To Big Barovia? No, not precisely new. I've
newish,
actually,
you would say?
Well, I've been around the block a couple times, is what I would say.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But I really, I'm fascinated. You were just scribbling down a bit of a message there, and
I'm writing my own memoirs.
Oh, so these are stories about you, not stories
Yes.
about others.
Well, I mean, yes, mainly myself. I wouldn't deem to tell other stories, except when I do. But mainly in terms of what I am putting into print, yes, it is my own stories.
So regale me with a tale. Tell me something that lately has happened here in Brogan. Because here, before you begin, I've got to start by saying that, frankly, it's all getting to be the same. We see birds. It's dark. It's foggy.
There's birds. It is true.
Right. It's hardly.
You do not tell lies, my friend. Birds there are.
Birds there are. Exactly. You get it. You understand. But I am looking for something a little out of the ordinary. Something that really stuck out for you. What's something that's happened to you lately that's just a change in the way of the mist and the fog and the sadness?
Well, I saw something horrible on the roads just but 3 days ago. Something unspeakable. Something I...
If it was a skeleton riding a skeleton, I've already seen
it. It was!
Yeah. Yep.
You've seen it too, my friend?
Yeah, I've seen the skeleton
They
riding
say
the skeleton.
Those who have seen it and lived to tell the tale are marked.
Marked. Okay.
Yes.
So can
For death!
I'm looking around. What's his name again?
Rictavio. How could you forget it?
Yeah, Rudolfo, I'm looking around.
No. Rictavio.
Rudolph, I don't see anything on you. There are no marks here.
It is like a spiritual thing, my friend.
Oh, so what? I've got like
in
an
your
aura
soul.
Now? My soul is marked from seeing a skeleton riding a skeleton.
For death.
Now, how long ago did you see it? You said a week?
Yeah, it's 8-9 days.
How long do you expect to live?
Who knows? Death is around every corner.
That's
both
what I'm
in
saying.
Barovia and when you live the life of adventure, the life of Rictavio.
Or the life of Elevor, frankly. I've seen death all
yes,
around.
but you've seen a skeleton, so we've established we have both seen skeleton riding. And let me just establish, the horse, it was also a skeleton of a horse.
Correct, yeah. That skeleton was riding the other. Yeah. See, but here's the thing. I'm still alive. You're still alive. We've got 10,
but we are
12
marked
days.
for death. Our days, they are numbered.
So you know what? You're marked for death.
I do not know what that number is. It is like the roll of a dice.
Think about this, pal. You're marked for death the moment you're born.
Ah, it's true.
So what?
So true. So sweet and honeyed are your words. They are like a song that makes me want to sing.
Go ahead, sing.
But it is not the right time.
A bartender, could I have a red wine?
That is all they serve here. Erwin comes over with 2 red wines.
And I give them both to Rudolph and...
Rictavio downs them quickly.
So...
You, sir, are a gentleman. Something that is a rarity in these lands, in these times. It will be tragic when you die. Hopefully... long from now and far from here, but someday we all come to our end. Oh, the drink, it makes me dour.
You know, I don't think it's possible to make you dour, I've got to say.
It's true!
I love him.
And I love you!
You didn't hear that. Look, I think you're great, pal.
I think you are good as well.
I
feel like you could be asking me more meaningful questions, and yet, why waste our time with these?
Here's a thought exercise for you. You seem to be into thought exercises.
I don't know what I have said to suggest such a thing, but I am.
You're very thoughtful, is all I'm saying, pal.
And you as well.
If there was one question that I should be asking you, what would that question be?
I will have to think on that one.
I just stare at him.
We have so many questions about the lore of the land.
You know, you go to battle with the Elevor you send, not the
I just gotta be honest, all of my questions are about Rictavio now.
Elevor, if I may assume that is your name, because it is embroidered.
Name tag. Yeah.
It is embroidered on your robe. I have a keen eye for these things.
To be fair, I did say my name earlier when I said that.
Yes, but I also inferred it before that.
Oh, very good work.
Yes.
You've done there.
I can also tell, and I mean this as no offense, you are a half-elf with 8 toes, are you not?
Oh my god.
There's a slight way in which you walk. I have an eye for these things.
You can tell from my gait. You should talk to my friend Imra.
I can also tell.
Hey, Imra.
Imra is off having a conversation with someone else and waves you off. Is that Imra? Is that Imra? Is that accurate? Reminder to never go to a cocktail party with Elevor. Yes, I can tell. I know these things. I have an eye. I am a seasoned adventurer. I have traveled the lands, and it is your wits that keep you alive. It is your tongue and the tales you tell that will build your friendships. But your wits, those are what you can rely on. Elevor,
right,
what you should ask me is what is the most dangerous thing in this land, and I will tell you. No. Okay.
No.
No?
See, here's the thing. No. The devil's
then you will tell me what I should tell you, but that what you should ask.
Yes.
And I would tell you that you would ask about
that. What I'm about to ask, which is
Indeed.
that there are 3 things that you should know that I know.
Oh,
One,
only 3? But not 4.
3 things that you should know that I know.
Okay.
There might be a 4th, there might be a 5th, but you should not know
But
that
not
I know
2.
those things.
We agree.
Correct,
3 or
but
more.
not 2. So
As I said, 3.
1, the devil, Elevor does scare quotes because there are scare quotes in this world.
It does not scare me, but some of the people, they are superstitious here. I am not even a little bit stitious, but these people here in Barovia, big Barovia.
Reference acknowledged.
Thank you.
The devil is the worst possible, scariest thing.
Yes, and he lives in Castle Ravenloft on the hill up the mountain. Yes.
Correct. Number 2 is that a madam with magical future-seeing powers told us that we should listen to the birds. Have you ever been told that?
I have, by that same woman. Trust the birds, she tells me. And I do this. I trust the birds. And so far, I'm alive.
Now, did she also tell you that you were probably going to die anyway?
It may have come up. I was not very listening closely at that point. But I do trust the birds. The birds, they have warned me. The birds, I think they have brought me here. The Martikov family, the birds watch over them. This is maybe not suspicious, but interesting. It is interesting. It is something I will write about someday when I understand it fully.
Imra, there are birds and the family watches over them.
Imra's just like over the corner and just like not even looks, just like puts a thumb up in his direction. Like,
Yep.
But Elevor, there were 2 things. There was one more thing. That was 2.
That was 2.
And the third thing that I was going to tell you that you were going to know that I knew that you knew that I knew.
It was that sometimes you can see a bunch of dead people walking toward Castle Ravenclaw.
I have seen it, the March of the Dead.
Yes. So
every night when the moonlight hits it, the Green's phantom specters, they march up and they go to fight the devil, and they lose and they die again every night. It is their fate. It is why it is best not to die at all. But do not die here. It is worse than normal death.
Honestly, it seems like we've had a lot of the same experiences, pal.
Well,
what do you know about this? There's a windmill nearby.
Yes. There is there are some strange old women who live there. They make these pastries, and they say people will they will do whatever they can get to get the pastries. They are hooked on it.
Have you ever tried one of the pastries?
No, I am smart.
Oh, so only non-smart people eat these.
Well, pastries. I mean, I don't want to make judgments, but I knew that they were dangerous. Those people perhaps did not.
And the birds kept you away as well?
Indeed. Trust the birds, my friend.
Trust the birds. So that is a real thing we should be doing, is trusting birds.
Why would you ask me about a fake thing that you should not be doing?
Well, because I didn't really trust the madam when she said trust the birds, and I just wanted to make sure that
So if someone tells you trust the birds, and you're like, no, birds are bad?
Correct. No, not the birds are bad.
So
birds
did you
bad.
decide to not trust the birds, or are you uncertain about your trust in birds based on your uncertainty about her?
Yes.
Yes. Agreed!
Yes. Right! And then Elevor's getting into this now, so he sort of slaps him on the shoulder.
You don't say.
Like, yes. Cool. So we've got that figured out. We've got that covered. Look, the fact is, as you know, I'm sure, we're all sort of stuck here.
In a way, we're all stuck where we choose to be stuck.
That's a good point.
Is it?
Well, here's the deal. What I'm fascinated by is how you seem to keep this this very positive demeanor about you, despite the fact that this is a crummy, horrible place with not much to look forward to.
I do not intend to die here. Not like the rest of them. No offense.
So you have a plan.
Well, it's more like an idea.
Okay.
But I do not intend to die here. I will escape Barovia someday, somehow. I will travel the lands, and I will learn what I need, and I will find a way out. I am not a prisoner here.
No,
not
okay,
like that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, maybe I am temporarily a prisoner, but I will break free. I will plan my escape.
Okay, but see, now what it sounds like is that you've just sort of put this idea in your head that one day you're going to break free, but you have not quite created a plan yet to help you break free.
I am free in my mind, and
That's
therefore
what I thought.
I am free
Got
in
it.
my body.
Yeah. So do you have any like followers? Because this is starting to sound a little
No,
like
I have done the cult thing. I've as a member only, I assure you. Let me tell you, you run a circus, that is where the money is. You are in a cult, that is where the fun is. But no more. I'm an old man now. A simple life. Solitary.
Yeah. Honestly,
watch out for cults. I think it's probably a thing in Barovia. I just assume.
What about circuses?
There are no circuses in Barovia. Write it down.
I don't know what to ask this guy.
You need to ask him about
And we go to Imra. Imra, you, in order to avoid this conversation, have to be in another conversation. Aline, you have a choice. I think your most obvious choices are either the two individuals who are arm wrestling or the two sullen-looking hunters over in the corner. Who does Imra and Andrew Dite wish to talk to?
Sullen people. I think
this is going to be fun.
I think Broldish should challenge the arm wrestlers.
Oh, yes, and I'm sorry, Broldish, you're also here, so you also get to decide. Are you going to be with him, or are you going to do your own thing?
Well, I think I'm wolfing down my food for much longer than anybody else is, so I won't start interacting until after everybody else has already had some
So, Imra, do you wish to approach the sullen-looking folks in the corner?
I'm gonna go grab some wine from our innkeeper friends and take a glass over to each of the hunter-looking people.
All right, so these are. Do you see them over on the southern corner of the bar here?
I do.
All right. So they take the wine and they kind of gesture to an empty spot at their table, and they introduce themselves. Kind of. The first one says, I'm Soldar. This is my partner, Yevgeny, and you are
Imra, and this is Androdite.
Well met. I don't. Do you shake hands with a dog when you meet a dog? Do you pat a dog? What's dog etiquette, people?
Bow.
A nod.
You bow.
Yeah,
nod.
You bow.
Okay.
Grovel.
A formal
that's a
bow
cat.
from the waist.
Yeah. No, don't. No, none of that rude stuff.
Yeah.
Are you from here?
No, we are hunters, scouts. We travel the countryside around here, around Valaki, but we only come into town from time to time to sell what we find and to stock up and then back out to the woods for us. They were having some big wolf-related event, and so there was a big bounty on wolves. So we've been out hunting wolves. We've done well.
Do you know what that is about? It was a little weird walking into town with all of the wolf heads.
I agree, and we are hunters, but it is usually you do not display your catch. Yevgeny nods quietly. There's two of them, so one of them's going to be very quiet. So Soldar continues. They had this event. I think 2 days ago. It was the Wolf's Head Jamboree. They paraded around town with wolf's heads, and Martikov, he bought most of the wolf meat to serve for food.
Do you know why they decided to do this?
They have here in Valaki, there is some festival or parade or celebration at least once a week, if not more. It is the Burgermeister, the Baron, he decrees them. He says they keep us safe.
Do you think they keep us safe?
He looks around, makes sure no one else is paying attention. No.
Yeah. It's
Do you think parades keep you safe?
I do not. I believe
then we
in
are
the power
agreed. He toasts. Positive thinking.
I believe in the power of my bow and arrows.
Yes, a good weapon. That is what you can trust in.
Thank you. I prefer the woods. Being in towns,
same,
is not the best.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you seen anything? I mean, I know it is Barovia and it is a scary place, but have you seen anything particularly unusual around as you've been traveling around the countryside lately?
There seems like there's only more wolves, which is good if you are a wolf hunter, bad if you are wolf prey.
So I'm wondering, hang on, I'm looking at the travel or journal here. So we have
we mainly operate north of the lake.
Okay. So we have the Mountainside Abbey and the Dead Village.
Are there any other submerged in the water?
Yeah. Are there any other geographical things I might want to ask them about?
The Drowned Village is the one that I was gonna suggest.
Okay.
Yeah, the Drowned Village and the Abbey are the big ones.
Okay. So I was hoping, because you look well traveled.
We are scouts, we are hunters, we know the land.
Yeah, I was hoping that you could tell me. I heard something from someone about a drowned village and a village that's been covered by a lake. And I was wondering if you knew anything about that.
Yevgeny kind of elbows him and he says, we might know a little bit about that. Our information is, hard earned, though. I mean, I can't just give that kind of intelligence away, if you understand.
I'll take out a silver coin for each of them and just rest it on the table.
They kind of slide it over to their side of the table, but don't take it off the table. They kind of nod. People here in Valaki. He feels like every conversation in Barovia has like 4 levels of whisper. We're now down to like level 3 of whisper. People here in Valaki. They do not talk about this place. It is an ill omen. But there is a village south of here. I'll tell you the name. Berez. It is a cursed place. There are many cursed places here in Barovia. Big Barovia. Mm-hmm. This one, it was a town. It is the 4th town in Barovia. Big Barovia, of which no one speaks. Many years back, the town, it did something to displease the devil. And it is said that he drowned the entire town as punishment.
Are there guards around, or is it just...
It is a dead place.
Just a dead place, okay. And also,
dead places are not empty in Barovia. You understand that.
I do understand that. I thank you for that warning.
But there are no people that live there.
Okay. I've also
But it is
heard
not
about...
empty. Because the dead live there. It's not funny.
It is not funny. No, it is terrifying.
Imra! You hear from Elapor.
Thank you. Rictavio and Elevor seem to be waving at you.
Yeah, the timeline has to be maintained.
I like it.
I'm also going the Abbey. I've heard about an Abbey and was wondering if you had any warnings about the terrain or the occupants around or in the Abbey. Is there anything?
It's I do not know it, but I've heard of it. It is next to Kresk, they say. Okay. This is true? You have any nods?
And just one more question, if I may. When we were coming to Valaki, we encountered a skeleton horse with a skeleton rider on it. Do you know of this?
I have heard
tells. It was very strange. You have not seen it?
I have not seen it myself. But I have heard stories. They say it is the lost traveler Barovia. He represents all of us, looking for an escape. But there is no escape, and so he wanders these lands forever. It is not considered good luck to have seen him.
Well,
it's considered bad luck, to be clear.
It's not neutral luck.
It's neutral luck.
Yeah. No, it's the other kind of luck, the bad kind.
I mean, to be fair, I think being in Barovia is just bad luck in general, so...
Agreed, friend.
Yes.
Imra, the family takes care of the birds.
I wave him off. Okay. All right. I feel like I should maybe get back to my friends.
We'll be here all night, but it is good to chat. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your time and your knowledge.
This is what we call a Rashomon episode.
All right, friends, we are at the top of the hour. Do I have any questions that I would ask at this stage of things?
Will we ever find out where Rictavio came from? Will we know why the birds take care of the family, and the family takes care of the birds? Will our adventurers ever discover the true meaning of the skeletal rider? For answers,
is this podcast all about Rictavio now? For answers to questions, please tune in to Rictavio's podcast, also known as the Dog and Pony Show. Next week, I'll throw the barbecue. Why am I slightly Italian now? What is going on? Why can't Tony Sindelar hold a voice for more than 8 minutes?